Picture Jordan Henderson lying flat on a stretcher, an oxygen mask over his face, being wheeled off the pitch at the Estadio Azteca, pronounced Azteca, while his teammates a few yards away are still hugging each other and screaming into the Mexico City sky. England had just won. England had just survived one of the most hostile knockout nights in modern World Cup history. And their own midfielder was going to hospital, not because of a Mexican tackle, but because he tripped over an advertising board in the celebration. That is the image. That is where this story starts. Because the scoreline, 3-2, tells you almost nothing about what actually happened on that pitch on Sunday night. This was not a football match. This was a siege. That is FIFA's worst nightmare. A knockout tie so ungovernable that half the football world is now demanding the referee gets the final, while the other half wants him banned from the tournament. Same performance, same night, two completely opposite verdicts. So let us go through exactly what happened, because this one is bad, and it did not start at kickoff. It started the night before, in a hotel car park on the western edge of Mexico City. Start with the setting. Santa Fe, Mexico City, Saturday night. England's players are trying to sleep. Outside their hotel, dozens of Mexican supporters have gathered with loudspeakers, air horns, and fireworks. They keep going into the early hours of Sunday morning. Police blockades do not move them. This is not random noise. It is a Latin American football tradition called the late night serenade, and it has quietly evolved into a psychological weapon. The same fans ran the same playbook on Ecuador days earlier and knocked them out 2-0. Ecuador filed a formal complaint. England did not. Thomas Tuchel, pronounced Tuchel, shrugged it off and pointed to a 6 p.m. kickoff, but the message had already landed. Then came the venue, the Estadio Azteca, 7,350 feet above sea level, 80,824 supporters inside. England's first return to this ground since 1986, since Maradona, since the hand of God. And then everyone waited for the kickoff. That kickoff never came on time. Thunderstorms and driving rain pushed the start back a full hour. While the crowd waited, the stadium DJ played Don't Look Back in Anger, and 80,000 Mexicans booted into oblivion. Then the football began, and for 7 minutes, England looked like they might drown. Raul Jimenez met a cross with a diving header on 16 minutes, and Jordan Pickford flew low to paw it away. Alan Shearer on commentary called it the save that let England breathe. Tuchel said afterwards we needed one moment of calm, and Jordan gave it to us. And 98 seconds after that first England goal, the second one arrived. 2 goals in a minute and a half in the loudest stadium on earth against a Mexico side that had gone 4 straight World Cup games without conceding. It should have been the knockout blow. Of course it was not. The official version is that England controlled the tie from that moment, and the reality is the exact opposite. Right before halftime, Ezri Konsa half-cleared a free kick, and Julian Quinones absolutely leathered the loose ball into the net, 2-1. The stadium detonated. Then in the 54th minute, England's stand-in right-back, Jarell Quansah, went flying into a challenge on Jesus Gallardo. Studs up, foot high. The Australian-Iranian referee, Alireza Fagani, pronounced Fagahni, initially played on. Then VAR called him to the monitor. Straight red. Shearer, who first thought Quansah had timed it, watched the replay and said, "That is a nasty, nasty challenge." Former World Cup final assistant Darren Cann said, 100% a red card. Both benches erupted. Punches were reportedly thrown. Reece James was seen in a screaming match with Guillermo Ochoa, pronounced Guillermo Ochoa. It was the 55th minute, and the game had only just begun to lose its mind. So let us zoom out, because this was not one bad decision in isolation. This was a pattern stacking on top of itself, brick after brick after brick, all in 90 minutes, all building the same wall. The hotel siege fed the hostility. The thunderstorm delay stretched the tension. The 98-second double stunned a crowd that then roared back on a single set piece. The red card lit the benches. Then the penalties arrived. Anthony Gordon chased a loose ball into the box, got there a fraction before keeper Raul Rangel, and Rangel wiped him out. Harry Kane, who had reportedly just been showered with beer thrown from the stands, calmly made it 3-1. 10 men, 2 goals up, job nearly done. And then Kane went from hero to villain in 9 minutes. Defending a Mexican set piece, he swung to clear and caught substitute Brian Gutierrez, pronounced Gutierrez, clean through the foot. Fagani waved it away. The monitor called again. He pointed to the spot. Jimenez buried it. 3-2. Now stack the evidence. Kwanzaa, red card, ruled out of the quarterfinal against Norway. Kane, 73rd goal of the season, then a penalty conceded 9 minutes later. Bellingham, 2 goals in 98 seconds, called the Azteca atmosphere the best he has ever played in. Kwanzaa, half a clearance, 1 Mexican goal. Gordon, 1 run, 1 penalty, 1. Henderson, 1 advertising hoarding, 1 ambulance, 6 moments, 90-plus minutes. 1 survival story that almost broke football. Let me be fair for a second, because this channel does not deal in fantasy. Fagani is the most experienced referee at this tournament, the only man ever appointed to 4 straight World Cups. Darren Cann, a former top-flight official, calmly explained that Kane did clip the foot and that the penalty was near identical to a challenge England themselves won a spot kick for earlier in this same tournament. Joe Hart, watching every replay, agreed the referee got all 3 big calls right. Half the football world is now demanding FIFA hand Fagani the final. But that is exactly what makes it a scandal instead of a footnote. Because Tuchel went nuclear afterwards, told the BBC the referees are just not good enough, and openly questioned whether a South American VAR crew should have been on a match of this magnitude. Same referee, same match, 2 opposite verdicts. So was this the greatest English survival act since 1966? Or was this a match decided by a monitor and a microphone in a VAR booth? Was Fagani the best referee at this World Cup? Or was he the man who let a stoppage time siege stretch to 12 minutes with an entire nation's dream on the line? Which side are you on? Tell me below. A-Like genuinely helps more than you would think. Subscribe if you want World Cup coverage that treats you like an adult instead of a highlight reel. Football at this scale is never just a tournament. It is a moment in time. And this one, the hotel siege, the thin air, the red card, the 2 penalties, the 12 minutes, the oxygen mask, this one is going to be remembered long after the trophy is lifted.